Hey guys, Kikamoni here. So due to the coronavirus, I am stuck at home. And when I'm stuck at home, I feel motivated to make a lot of scratch-made foods. And today I am going to be making a bread recipe that is so simple and easy. And if you're intimidated by making bread, I would definitely try this one first. It is super easy. You don't even have to knead it. So a lot of people I think are intimidated by kneading, or if you don't have a stand mixer with a dough hook, you just shy away from bread altogether. Um, but anyway, this one requires neither. It just has a super long rise time. So you just want to make sure that you time it out and start it at a time that you can finish it without having to get up crazy early or something. So it's about 6 p.m. right now for me. And I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'll show you what's involved. Super simple. And it takes 18 hours to let it rise. So, think about when you're going to start this and then when you're going to have to do the next part and make sure that you time it appropriately. And that's all there is to it. And like I said, if you're not a really great bread maker, this is a super easy recipe for a novice baker to try. Don't be intimidated, just dive in there. And mind you, I make a lot of different bread recipes. I really love making bread. I do like French bread, which is delicious. I've posted a recipe for it before. In fact, I'll put the little link so you can check that out if you want. But I do like, my own pizza dough. I try all different kinds of bread recipes. And this one is not only one of the easiest, since there's no kneading involved and no special equipment, but it is one of the most delicious bread recipes I've ever made. So anyway, give it a try, watch the recipe and try it yourself. And I'm sure you will not be disappointed. So anyway, that's it. And stay tuned. Here is how to make that. This is ciabatta bread. And you can either make a huge loaf. It makes a huge loaf. Or you can make multiple loaves. Or sometimes I split it up and make like rolls. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. But it comes out great either way. Maybe I'll do like half and half to show you. I haven't decided yet. And I don't need to decide until tomorrow. So anyway, I hope everyone is healthy and staying home and staying sane. It's been interesting, I'm sure, for all of you as well. So anyway, here is ciabatta bread and how to make it. Enjoy.
Okay, so you're going to start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and if you'd like, you can swap one of those for whole wheat flour. And then I put in a quarter of a teaspoon of yeast, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 2 cups warm water. Now you want to mix it all really well together there. And I made a mistake of not first mixing my dry ingredients here, so I would definitely suggest that. First, it looks too dry, then it looks too wet, then it looks just right. So you cover it up with foil and let it rise for 18 hours. Now, here is how it looks the next day. You'll want to kind of punch down the edges there, and I gave it a mix because, like I said, I had not mixed my dry ingredients. Next, you want to flop it, for lack of a better term, onto your sheet pan. And if you don't have one of these silicone baking mats, you can always just use some olive oil and cornmeal, or probably parchment paper would work great too. So here you can see I'm making mine into sandwich rolls, and it's pretty sticky. You don't have to do it this way. If you'd like, you can just shape it into one large loaf or split it into 2 loaves. Just literally use your hands and best you can shape it into a loaf. Or like I did here, if you want sandwich rolls, just go ahead and split it up the best you can. And you want to give them a little space. So I'm actually going to shift these around so that they don't bump into each other because they're going to rise outward first. We have one more rise to go after this for 2 more hours. So after you get your dough shaped, you're going to want to dust the top of it with some flour and then cover it up with a towel and let it rise for 2 more hours before we bake it. And then when you go to bake it, make sure the oven is nice and preheated, 425 for about 20 minutes. Here they are, just out of the oven, smelling delicious, looking great. Let them cool on a cooling rack there, and or you can just dive right in while they're hot. Look at that, nice air bubbles, really well developed, crusty outside, soft, soft, soft inside.
Hey there, guys. So it's Kikamoni. The bread is all finished now, and it hasn't finished cooling yet, and that kind of changes the consistency. I feel like it makes it a little bit softer. And I did not make bread. As you can see, I made rolls this time. We're going to make sandwiches out of it, and I kind of like the rolls better than just the slices of the ciabatta bread. But this recipe really was intended to make just like a giant loaf of ciabatta bread. So as you saw me kind of dealing with that sticky dough there when I was splitting it up into the rolls, you don't have to go through all of that if you're a new bread maker. If you just want to make a loaf of ciabatta bread, which is amazing, just like that, you can just flop it, for lack of a better term, onto the sheet pan and kind of form it into a loaf roughly, and then let it rise from there. And it comes out amazing. I would just cook it for a little bit longer, but not much, honestly. Check it and see when it seems done. When you tap it and it sounds hollow and you can check the bottom and see that it's done, you should be good to go. And if you don't have the non-stick silicone baking mats that go down underneath it, you can use either parchment paper or put some like olive oil in a sheet pan and a bunch of cornmeal. That works really well too. So experiment with it and give it a try. It is so good. I went ahead and cut one of these rolls open, and you can see, like, look at that. It's so airy and soft, soft, soft. I mean, look, you can just fold this thing up. The bottom has a little bit of a crust to it, and look at that. All of those, like, fluffy, light air bubbles. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. Oh, man. It's so good. This is one of my favorite breads to make. So easy, no kneading, no work to it really, aside from making the rolls rather than the loaf. But if you're just going for the loaf, so easy and so delicious. And honestly, normally the dough rises a little more and looks a little bit more bubbly than what I saw when I took the cover off. So I don't think it rose properly, honestly, but it still came out amazing. Super light and fluffy. Normally it's a little bit more so. But, you know, just go with it. It's delicious. So, no change there. Anyway, I hope everybody tries it. If you try it and you like it, or if you liked this video here, please shoot me a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you try my recipe and have any suggestions or notes or like it, please comment below. I can't wait to see. I hope a lot of people do. It's so easy and so fun. So anyway, I hope everybody's staying safe and staying home, and stay healthy out there. Practice your social distancing and watch YouTube. Have a great night, everybody.